Hello again, it's good to see you. I hope that you're having an amazing day today. I cannot believe it is time to close out another year of Pan That Palette. Just mind-blowing. Year 3. This year I took on Stila in the Light, and once I finished it, I took on Stila in the No. So regardless, I am completely satisfied with my progress. I did not finish my Stila in the No palette, but let me show you where I was for the month of December, and then we'll kind of talk about where I ended up, and then the experience painting Stila versus painting Lorac, Urban Decay, and kind of where I'm going to be moving in the future. All right, here's where I ended up. As you can see, the last shadow standing from Stila in the No is this shade Ebony. Like I said, I'm really satisfied. This year was all about moving out old eyeshadow. I'm very impressed with what I was able to accomplish. As you can see with the Z palette, I've got a smattering of Too Faced shades in here. Like these came out of the original Matte Eyes palette and the Romantic Eyes palette. These were also out of the Romantic Eyes palette and Matte Eyes palette. I've got a couple Urban Decay shades from the 15th anniversary palette that came out several years ago, and then a couple of Bare Mineral shades. So like I said, this year has been all about moving out the old eyeshadow, and I'm going to continue working on this palette as we get into 2017, especially since my plan is to start tackling the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, and I really miss not having a black shadow. So I'm going to go on and just polish this off and start rounding out so I can finish some more old shadows out of my collection. Just to kind of quickly talk about how I felt, you know, panning Urban Decay Naked Palette to Lorac Pro to Stila in the Light and in the No. I really feel like, from my humble personal opinion, Stila is the ideal brand for any beginner to makeup, or if the person is new to using palettes, wearing palettes, Stila is the way to go, because it's kind of like the Goldilocks of palettes. It's not quite as intense as Urban Decay Naked or Lorac Pro, but it still has the option of color like the Lorac Pro would. Dare I say it, but Stila, like the In the Light and the In the No, are kind of like the watered down version of the Lorac Pro palette, if that makes any sense at all, because there was a slate looking shade in there like Lorac Pro Slate called Night Sky. It wasn't as intense. It was a little bit easier to work with. Sunset was kind of similar to Garnet. Bliss was kind of similar to Mauve. Obviously having those cream shades. The matte black, the matte brown like Sable, or well, Sable had more red in it, but Espresso. When you combine the In the No palette, I really felt like it was a balance out of a lot of those Lorac Pro shades. And then with Urban Decay Naked palette, I still felt like you were getting the intensity, but you could still get some of the bronzy, easy to wear looks like with Bubbly and Kitten and all that, like the Urban Decay Naked palette. So really, if you're trying to introduce somebody to makeup, maybe you have a daughter, maybe you have a mom who wants to step more into eyeshadow and she hasn't worn a lot of makeup, or maybe you have a friend who is new to palettes, the new Stila palettes that are like the Eyes Are the Window to the Soul, or I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they come in the small square packaging with the gold lid. It's the Stila in the Light and In the No palettes, but they have like a couple extra shades. I would recommend those to somebody that is very brand new to makeup. I was never dissatisfied with any look that I came up with, which was awesome, because there were times that I would come up with looks with Lorac Pro and the Urban Decay Naked palette that I really felt like I needed to tweak, or I just, you know, I felt kind of hit and miss with them until I got used to working with that particular shadow, and I never, ever had an issue with any of the Stila shades, with the exception of them cracking, but that's because they're old. So that's kind of where I am with that. You know, will I repurchase? Not anytime soon. I'm continuing to move through my collection. In fact, I still don't have well, I did have a backup, but I ended up selling it. I don't have a Naked palette anymore. I don't have a Lorac Pro, and now Stila's gone. So next plan of attack, let's go on and make this the intro video. I'm going to be tackling the Too Faced Chocolate Bar for 2017. The reason I wanted to take on this palette is because it is such a neutral palette prize fighter. in the YouTube world, and also, you know, when you walk into Sephora and Ulta, I mean, it's one of the palettes that's constantly being marketed as one of those ultimate neutral palettes. This is my starting point. I'm gonna go want to keep my normal filming schedule, so, you know, look out for those videos for the middle to about the 20th of each month. It depends on when I have a chance to sit down and film. But this palette, I also wanted to take it on because some of these colors I feel like are going to be very, very challenging, but I think are going to push me to step out of my comfort zone to really get creative with more of my collection. Because, I mean, I brought in so many palettes this year because along with Steel in the Light and In the Know, I mean, I had all these shades in here. I brought in my Lorac Mega Pro. I brought in shades from my Lorac Pro 2 palette. I brought in shades that I just had from old palettes. And so I kind of want to keep that trend of just continuing to cycle through my makeup. And I feel like with Chocolate Bar, I'm going to need to do that because some of these shades, maybe you've had the same experience. I've been wearing the Too Faced Chocolate Bar in combo with what's left in my Z palette for the last couple of days. And I've really noticed in particular the Gilded Ganache and this Black Forest Truffle are very muddy shades. These are gonna be quite challenging for me to work with. I mean, I'm wearing the Black Forest Truffle in my crease today. It looks like brown eyeshadow. I've been wearing Gilded Ganache in my crease for the last couple of days. And again, it looks like the same brown eyeshadow. It just doesn't have kind of the purple tinge if I close my eyes. So that's going to be entertaining for this year to kind of see how I feel about this palette, panning it. But so far, you know, I have been impressed with the white chocolate shade. I've been impressed by Salted Caramel or Caramel, however you choose to pronounce that. But, you know, so, and I've also been impressed. I do have on Champagne Truffle in my inner corner today, along with that Black Forest Truffle in the crease. So it's going to be very entertaining to take on a major palette. But the other reason I wanted to do this too is because since I had such a breezy year of getting through so many shadows, I figured this is going to be a good push for me to kind of get back into that, what is the word I'm looking for? Kind of persistence, because I know Urban Decay Naked palette took me quite a while. And I had moments where I was kind of on a roller coaster palette. And I feel like I'm going to go through that learning curve again with Chocolate Bar. So I hope you choose to jump on the ride with me again. I know several of you are also panning your Too Faced Chocolate Bars. So I can't wait to share what's working and what's not, because some of these shadows, like I said, I know I'm going to have a challenge with. Perhaps you'll have some great information that'll help make it a little bit easier to pan. So thank you so much for choosing to pan palettes out of your collection, to hit pan in your shadows, for taking on the challenge in various forms with your makeup collection and doing what works for you. I love how we can be such an encouraging community, and that we are friends, and that we are sharing so many tips and tricks to help us enjoy what we have at home. So that's about it for now. I've got several more videos coming your way within the next couple of weeks, so be on the lookout. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. See you later.